Before we get started, it would mean a ton if you guys could like the video, and if you're new here, definitely watch the video the whole way through and see if you want to subscribe. But alright, let's hop into it. Hopefully Cour 3 got some good stuff for us. The additions that we've seen between the Zero Squad, between Shinji's Bankai, have just been awesome. Seeing new things in this increased quality is just perfect. So hopefully we get a couple more of those. So to kick things off with my first one, I want to see Ryuken and Isshin just participate in a battle together. Or at least just see Isshin's Bankai. It's just so strange. We know his Zanpakuto to be a fire type. We know that we can mix it with his blood to make a blood flame attack. We know that he can hypercharge his Getsuga Tensho with flame. So yeah, it's like, what can this Bankai possibly be? Aizen states he can't use it when his body is heavily injured because it puts a strain on his body. At first I was thinking it was something that fully engulfed his body with flames, but that would be too much like Yamamoto's abilities, and I don't think it has something to do with engulfing his entire body that makes it difficult. More so, it seems like fixating the Ryatsu while your body has a blood dripping gash is what seems to make it kind of hard to use. Isshin's Bankai just always felt weird to me because it seemed like right here we are being introduced to his Shikai properly, and his Shikai is giving us soft hints on his Bankai, and we just don't see it, and he doesn't battle ever again. So this is the time to see it. Then there's always problems with content like this though. Who does Isshin fight besides absolute fodder that would make this Bankai seem like it's strong, while at the same time giving you a valid reason as to not thinking in the back of your head, why didn't you use this against Aizen? But without getting too critical or too meta on the series, I really do just want to see Isshin's Bankai in action, regardless. And as for Ryuken, he is supposed to be the character in the series who does not fight. That's supposed to be his whole thing. He's supposed to be the character who walked away from the battle at a young age because he was more focused on his priorities in life, quote unquote. This more so seems as though it was because of what happened to Uryu's mother and just in general what the fight has done to his life that he likes to kind of stay away from it. But that would make it that much cooler if we actually saw him shoot an arrow, just to show that he's no slouch and that he is a formidable Quincy. At least he just has some understanding, which he clearly does. He's the one that Uryu kind of leans on when he needs that next step in his evolution, whether he realizes it or not. So definitely would like to see him battle or just do anything, use any Quincy technique at all, and maybe have his own spin on it. Who knows? For me, this is easily the most important thing that needs to happen in all of Bleach, period. We need more flashbacks on the original Sin. We need more flashbacks on Reo. Exactly what happened, we need to see it. No more hearing that Ichibe is an unreliable narrator. Just, we need to know. Bleach is more or less sadly completed, and it's just at the point where there's no reason to be vague anymore. We should just have a full understanding of how things happen with Reo. Maybe not hyper definitive, but just slightly enough to see for ourselves. Let's just know for ourselves, did Reo not put up a fight? Was it really with no fuss that he was able to just, I will become the linchpin, and that just said and done? And he was more than happy to be mutilated, or was there conflict? And were words said? Did the Shiba clan try and stop people? Just so many things that we deserve to know at this point. Like I said, I'm not expecting a turn back the pendulum type of deal, but just those weird dreamscape scenes where they were showing Reo, if we just get a little bit more of that, the little bit more detail, I will be more than satisfied. So hear me out on this. One of the biggest travesties and obvious misses in Bleach is Ichigo's Bankai at the end of the story. It's just so poorly dealt with. And I think the easy fix for it is just give him one battle before they make it to Yuha, so we don't have to just see the Bankai and then we see it get cracked on the spot. Yeah, I understand the point of that moment is to really show off that the Almighty is absolutely insane and just so hard to deal with. But I still think we can keep that moment, and I think that moment would have had even more significance if we saw Ichigo just do something with his Bankai right before that. So it'd be like, wow, this Bankai is insanely powerful. And then all of a sudden it stopped with little to no effort, him not even moving a muscle. So I think that would be the answer to just us getting to see Ichigo's Bankai do something, but Yuha still be able to maintain his presence as this almighty figure who will not fall to a simple Bankai. And Yuha versus Ichigo wouldn't even be happening until Cour 4 anyway, so this would literally be perfect if we just got one battle that could highlight Ichigo's powers and give his Bankai the chance to be explored maybe a little bit. Maybe it has some other techniques besides Getsuga Tensho. Even if it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. It would just give it the time to be celebrated that it never got, especially during the canonical run. And I feel like this would work better instead of it being in Cour 4, where, you know, we'd see the Bankai, and then a couple weeks later, when those episodes release, then we'd just see it get cracked right away. So this just gives it that, like I'm saying, that time to relish in the light it deserves as a Bankai, that we essentially have waited the entire series to see. Cour 3 was expected to drop around spring of this year, and that's where we're at now, so hopefully that's right around the corner. I think the additions we've seen have been so good, have been awesome, and it just makes up for all the suffering we had to go through almost a decade ago. But hopefully we're in better times now. Alright, if you guys have made it this far in the video, you are awesome. Definitely throw down a like, a comment, anything. It would mean a ton for me, a ton for the algorithm, and just get the channel popping. But alright, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.
This is real.